I'm going to put some socks on. Mine are green. For those of you online, you'll be able to see me. Yeah, and that's okay because yeah, it is for I'll answer your question in the correct order. Yes, it is for for sliding, and it should be okay. Yeah, but I think it should be okay because those are super cute. Let's just leave them on. They deserve to be they deserve to be shared today. I think you should be okay. Okay, so we're gonna lie down. I want you to take a moment as you touch the floor. A lot of you have already got yourself set up with a bolster, with some support, but I want you to give your body a little bit of space to roll around or move on the floor for a moment. So you might find once you come onto the floor, I'm just going to turn down my music. You ask the body to kind of stop and be still right away. But if we have a lot of emotions or energy moving through the body, then it is very difficult for body to become still. So then when we lie down, you want to ask body, do you need to move? So is there a stretch, a lengthen, a drawing the legs into the chest, support? The hands want to be on body. Do you need to take a few breaths in the nose and purse it out the mouth? You might also find that as you go through that pursed lip breath, the body is holding. And so in that holding, maybe if you've had different emotions or events transpiring through you, or meeting of the body and the body feels a little bit of disturbance, could be the mind, then we can allow a cleansing breath with a sigh or a sound. And so you can just inhale and feel that ha. And the ha sound is a sound that resonates to the heart. The sh sound connects to our lungs. So I want you just to feel, is it the sh sound to nourish your lungs? Shh. Is it the ha sound to nourish the heart? And so the heart holds grief, and the lungs also hold grief and sorrow. The heart can also hold a little bit of other emotions within sometimes not being kind to self. So as you settle, and I've turned the bolster, which some of you have joined me with, keeping the knees bent and flipping the bolster up on its kind of side. And if you want to keep the legs straight, that's fine too. Just make sure that the bolster's behind the knees and supporting the upper thighs. Both, while supporting the legs, will help to release the lower back. And in that release of the lower back, we're going to start releasing the psoas and the iliacus. So those two kind of muscles that intertwine together. The very top of that psoas, as it attaches onto your lower back, also feeds into your diaphragm muscle, which is your primary breathing muscle. So we're gonna, as we've been focusing on the cleansing breath with a sigh or a sound, using that sh sound or that ha sound. Notice that energetic awareness of feeling the downward flow into the earth. So one thing when we feel a lot of emotion or stress, a little bit overwhelmed, or we feel just slightly off, coming back to the element of earth is very nourishing for us. Feeling the diaphragmatic breath. So the diaphragm is underneath the lungs and it rests in an upward dome shape. So when you draw air into the lungs, the diaphragm contracts, it flattens down towards the belly button a little bit, moves anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. It presses on all the abdominal organs and you feel your belly expand. You also feel the rib cage start to expand. I want you to feel laterally. And as you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes back up into a dome shape. The belly softens and deflates, and the rib cage gathers. For a little bit more interoception, some of you might feel your hands just want to rest on your abdomen, elbows on the floor. Some of you might have your arms out to the side, about 1 foot to 2 feet of the arms away from body. Palms facing up towards the ceiling, back of the hands on the floor. As we rest here and we arrive, and in this arriving, we land. We land the weight of the body onto the floor. I want you to feel the bony structures of your body just becoming heavier into the mat. Connecting with this exhalation a little bit more, this downward flow of energy that drops us into the gravitational pull of the earth, and the holding and the awareness of feeling safe and secure in that embrace of Mother Earth. If you can allow your breath to just keep your focus as you feel your expansion. Some of you may even be able to feel the diaphragm muscle contract down on the inhale, belly expand, the rib cage widen. And as you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes back up into a dome. The belly deflates and the ribs gently come in. And then there's a release into the earth. Heavy, heavy bones. As we arrive and land, we start to attend to the body, attend to our breath. And with us attending to body and breath, we also nourish and tone the mind and the nervous system. Feel yourself expand. Inhalation. Exhalation, there's a little gathering in. I'm going to be here for just a little bit longer. Through this practice today, I offer you an invitation to release what's no longer needed to be held within body, to offer this time of nourishment, the body and your nervous system, and to keep your breath as your companion today, sinking to all the things that we do, just allowing this natural flow of rhythm as you start to just wiggle your toes. Feel that move into your feet, move your feet around, feel that ripple effect up through your legs. I've got my knees bent, so those of you that are with me can also just allow the legs to straighten, and the bolster will just flatten down onto the mat. And then you can just release your feet down so the heels are touching the floor. Then wiggle the fingers. And then start to move up through the arms and just create some movement through the arms. Feel them, just let them express how they want to. And some of you might go into that awakening stretch of tensing the body that we've been doing, allowing there to be a reach of the arms overhead or up towards the ceiling, down through the legs, a little contraction. And then as you exhale through the mouth, just let go. And allow that to flow through a couple more times. Feel a little contraction. So when we create a little tension in the body, then we can let go. That just signals the body to release. Sometimes we're not aware of how much we're holding until we find a little contraction mindfully and a release mindfully. Nice. And keeping the relationship to the ground as you move your bolster off to the side. Let the legs come up, give them a little hug. So hands can be on the shins. You can hold the back of the thighs if that feels better. If it doesn't feel good to hold the legs, no worries. Just let them flow around in space. So you're just going to circle them. So we're just going to feel that we draw a circle in one direction. As the legs move away from the torso, that's a good time to inhale. And as the legs come towards the torso, that's a really good time to exhale. You create space as the belly deflates and the legs are received towards you. Just flow around in one direction. Okay, if having the legs come towards you feels a little bit strenuous in the body, especially if we have any digestive issues coming up or something we feel held in the body, you can always put a little height underneath the pelvis. So I've got my chip foam block, it is black, and you can pop that underneath and then bring the legs up and notice, it's a lot easier to have the legs come up towards you. So you might even try that out and just see, does that allow my psoas to have a little bit more ease? Okay, our focus today is just finding a little bit more ease here. And then when you're ready, you're going to go the other direction. Just circling. Good. When the legs feel complete and they've circled in both directions, you can even extend them up in the air, wiggle them out. See if the arms want to come up. Maybe they want to wiggle. Let's do a few ankle and wrist circles. So check in. Do my knees want to bend quite generously? Do my elbows want to bend? Sometimes the elbows just even want to drop back on the floor and the knees bend quite liberally. So just checking in and circling. So draw circles with your toes, your fingers. Just go slow because it's really about finding a full range of circle rather than how many repetitions you do. We're just warming up the synovial fluid, which brings nourishment to our joints. Go the other direction. It also creates a nice kind of sliding, slippery surface for our bones and our muscles and our tendons to all move around. So it's really helpful to do a little bit of warm up. Good. Reach the arms and the legs up in the air again. Just shake them out. And we're going to lower the feet towards the floor. Lift the block up and just check in if your head needs any support. Okay, you can just have it off to the side. And then we're going to just release the psoas right away. So I'm just taking the bottom of my mat. I'm just going to sit up and folding it so it's out of the way. So you can fold the end of your mat so it just comes and touches the base of your hips as you're seated, and then lie back down. And then your heels can just go on the very end of that mat. Your toes can be on the floor. Okay, hands can be on the belly, arms can be off to the side. We're going to do this little flow. Some of you are familiar with it, and some of you it will be your first time. So we're going to start on left side because it's just closest to camera, closest to all of you. So we're going to kind of start left here today. So you're just going to exhale, become heavy. Feel the belly draw back. There's a little lift in and up, and just feel your inhale, notice your expansion. On your next exhale, you're going to slide your left foot along the floor. Okay, you're going to keep the toes on the floor until you can't anymore, and then the toes will just pop up. You'll feel your heel. Notice as you go into a full extension, just having the toes reaching. Roll the leg out, roll the leg in. Do that a couple times. Feel the whole leg. Okay, this is connecting up into the ball and socket and the femur, which is connected to your psoas. Reach through your toes. This will lengthen the psoas. Good. Now pause. Press through your heels so the toes point up towards the ceiling. They're passive. You're not pulling them back towards your head. You're just letting them release up to the ceiling, and you're reaching through your heel. So I just want to tug on the back lines. What we're doing is we're lengthening the lower back, which is the top part of the psoas. Your heel, for some of you, as you reach through it, the inner heel, outer heel, might notice that maybe for some of you, the heel's on the floor. Some of you, the heel lifts off. Okay, then let the heel settle, point your toes again. Slide the foot back. And just when you hit that mat, just lift your heel and just pop your heel up on the mat. Good, we're gonna do right side. Inhale, exhale, extend right leg. Let the leg fully lengthen. Okay, keep reaching through your toes, all of them. Roll the leg in, roll the leg out. You should feel at that crease of the hip, a little kind of tugging there. We're lengthening the lower part of the psoas right now. Good. Just let that rolling in, rolling out with keeping the toes pointed away from you. And then find your leg in center and then reach through your heel. Your toes will passively point towards the ceiling. Reach through your inner heel, out the inner heel, out the outside of the heel. Feel heavy on that right side, releasing lower back. Good. Then you're going to re-point through the toes. Inhale, exhale, slide the foot back. When the heel touches the mat, just lift it up, put it on the mat. Okay, we're going to bring the arms into it now. And so some of us, when we're moving the arms, because it's going to be part of our warm-up, you might take your bolster if you feel a little tension in your arms and just put it overhead. So I've got mine overhead so that when I reach my arms up overhead, my arms have the bolster to rest into. Because some of us, because we're just warming up the shoulders, might not be fully warmed up to go down to the floor. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to inhale. We're going to go back to left side. Exhale, lengthen through the leg. Toes are pointing internally, externally, rotating that leg with keeping the toes pointed. And then I want you to inhale, lift that left arm up. Fingers point to the ceiling. Exhale, overhead. Okay, let the arm rest on the bolster. Let the elbow bend if you need to. Exhale, we're going to do an SH breath. So we're going to inhale as we exhale. Shh. Gather the ribs, pull them together, feel your rib cage reach down towards your belly button. Your lower back will start to come to the floor. So do that a couple more times. Inhale, exhale, SH. Shh. Feel your ribs gather. Some of us that have a sclerotic spine, you might notice you have to draw one side of your rib cage in a little bit more. One last time. Good. Then you're going to inhale the arm up, fingers point to the ceiling, exhale it back down. Press through your heel on your left foot. Just let the left toes reach passively up towards the ceiling. Just going to release back line. Good. And then you're going to reach through the toes again through left foot. Slide that foot back on the floor. When you touch the mat, lift the heel. Beautiful. Now we're going to do right side. Inhale, exhale, extend right leg. As the toes come off the floor, keep pointing them forward. Roll the leg in, roll the leg out. Feel that connection to your psoas. Just grounding. Our psoas is also connected to our sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight. So you pause in the leg. When you're ready, that right arm with the palm down first is going to inhale. The fingers are going to point to the ceiling. We're going to exhale overhead. Good. Notice if When the forearm reaches and touches that mat, if you want to bend the elbow a little bit, feel free. This is now releasing the upper part of the psoas, so going into your lower back and your diaphragm. And you can keep rolling the leg. You can also now gonna bring the head in, roll the head from side to side, only if you wish. Find your breath. Good. Once you feel center, right, reach the arm up, fingers point to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, arm back, down by your side. Good. You're gonna press through your right heel, inner heel, outer heel. Toes are passively pointing to up towards the ceiling. Feel your lower back melt into the floor. Good. Just regulating and toning our nervous system right now. Repointing the toes on the right foot, sliding that leg back, lifting the heel up. Beautiful. Going to draw both knees into your chest, give them a hug. Good. You're going to release the mat down. Take your inflated ball or your 4-inch block, whichever one you want, and put it in between the inner thighs. If you have a block behind your head, just remove it. You can keep your bolster overhead. We're just going to do a little of our bridge flow. We're going to feel our feet on the floor. So the feet are hip width. And for me, my socks don't have little grippies on it. So I'm going to take mine off because I like to be barefoot for this one. So you check in with yourself. Okay, so feet parallel, arms down by your side, palms down. Okay, so exhale. Feel that SH breath. Feel how your lower back ribs press into the floor. I want you to keep the back of your rib cage, especially your lower ribs, that's below your shoulder blades, in contact with the floor. We're going to inhale, reach the fingers up towards the ceiling. We're going to exhale overhead. Remember, we've done this with a strap. So just imagine that feeling of maybe leaning gently out into the strap, even though it's not there. Press the feet into the floor. Exhale, squeeze the ball, the block, engaging the pelvic floor. Inhale, reach the arms up, fingers point to the ceiling. Exhale, lower down. We're going to do that a couple times. I want you to think of your upper arm bone as you root your feet. Squeeze the ball. Inhale, reach the arms up, fingers point to the ceiling. As you exhale, overhead. Upper arm bone is closest to the shoulder joint. As you root the feet, squeeze the ball. You're going to think of your upper arm bone lifting up off the floor as your fingers point out towards the ceiling. Arms come down by your side. Good. Do 1 or 2 more rounds on your own of your arms lifting up and back. Try to keep neutral wrist, reaching a little bit through the tips of your fingers. Good. We're going to now bring, in a moment, the pelvis coming up. When you're ready, keep the arms on the floor. We're going to start with the pelvis first. We're going to root the feet. Okay, reach your sit bones, the tailbone, that's the very base of your pelvis, towards your heels. And you're going to gently reach it up. As you press your feet into the floor and you squeeze the block, your pelvis is going to float up off the floor. Let your chin relax towards your chest. Remember, there's no support behind your head for this one. Pause here for a moment. Feel all your toes reach towards the floor. Notice your inner heel pressing the floor away, your outer heel. Feel the lower belly lift up. Feel that SH breath come in. Beautiful. As you keep active in the lower body, when you're ready, thinking of the upper arm bone, so above the elbow, that upper arm bone, you're going to inhale, reach the arms up, fingers point to the ceiling. Exhale, overhead. Arms can touch the bolster if you want. Okay, pause here for a moment. Feel this opening through the body. You're lengthening the psoas here so beautifully. Some of you might even feel a little lengthening out through your thighs, out through the inner knee, the outer knee. When you're ready, you can start to feel the pelvis slowly roll down, the arms come up, fingers point to the ceiling, lower down, arms and pelvis lowering down together. And so we're going to do that again. Press the feet. Come up through the pelvis, sit bones reach forward, they reach up. Try to keep widening the sit bones apart. Chin towards the throat. When you're ready, feel the toes rooting as you inhale, arms, fingertips point up to the ceiling. Exhale, overhead. You got it. Pause there if you want. I'm just going to come out just to walk. Be there. Feel your feet. Feel the strength of all of your toes, inner heel, outer heel, into the floor. Notice that release through the top of the thighs, through your psoas. Yeah. And you'll know when you're ready to float down, and the arms will come up, the pelvis will lower. Check in. Do you want to do one more round? I want you to guide yourself through it. So it integrates. We've been flowing through this one the last couple weeks. Yeah, feel your feet. Squeeze the ball. Let the pelvis lift. Good. Arms can come up. Yeah, good. Exhale overhead. There it is. Good. Nice. And you stay there for as long as you want. When you're ready to come down, you let go. And remember, your pelvis starts to descend first, then your arms. If you think of your upper arm bone lifting up, fingers will point to the ceiling, arms will come down. Nice. Draw your legs up into the chest, give them a hug. Hands can be on the shins or the back of the thighs, or you can just let your legs be there as they rock a little bit from left to right. Just want to bring a tiny bit of core work in. So just feel a little bit of rocking and then plant your hands on the floor, about a foot to a foot and a half away, palms down. You're going to reach through your heels, excuse me, inner heel, outer heel. Toes are going to be quite quiet here. And then as we have our legs in center, you're going to point through your toes here. So you're going to do a point in the foot when your legs are in center, head is lined up. Then as you bring your legs over to the left side, you're going to reach through your heels, inner, outer. Toes are going to go into that soft pointing up. Okay, you're going to draw the thighs towards you. And then as you release the legs, you're going to bring the legs back to center, point the toes. As you bring your legs over to the right side, you're going to reach through the heels. Thighs coming up towards the torso. So I want you to feel that as you go through center, inhale, point the toes. As you exhale, flex, reach through the heels. Toes are passive, okay? Still carrying on what we were doing. Flowing from left to right. And see if you want to do a little U shape. So as the legs come to one side, you might even pull up with the lower belly. See if you can bring your thighs a little bit closer towards the torso. Yeah, good. Hands can be palms down in this one if you want. You can even lean the palms gently into the floor. It will help to release the torso. Maybe the head flows with the legs. One or two more times each side. Pointing the toes in center, reaching through the heels on each side. Good. When you come into center, release the feet once you've done both sides. Take a moment. Pause. Okay, we're going to do a little more of a release for the psoas. So you're going to have your arms out to the side, about a foot to a foot and a half away. Palms are up, and the feet, you're going to widen them the width of your mat. So that means the outer edge of your feet are going to be on the outer edge of your mat. Yeah, you got it. Thighs are rolling in on this one. So it encourages an internal rotation, a widening of the lower back. Now we're going to release our legs and our head very gently to the left side. So you're going to feel your pelvis lead this beside, not the knees. So you're going to inhale, exhale. I want you to feel your right hip lift up off the floor. Your legs are going to move to the left. Your head's going to turn to the left. You're going to exhale. You're going to lift up the lower belly. Exhale, find that SH breath. Release the rib cage down. Good. Press your right big toe, your right inner heel into the floor just a little bit. Good. And Susan, if it's tricky on your hips, you can always put a little slow-mo ball there as well. Okay, then I want you to, the legs lifting by rolling the pelvis back onto the floor. The legs will just follow as your head and your legs come back into center. Good. Then you're going to inhale, exhale. Allow the left side of your pelvis to lift off the floor as your legs release to the right. Head turns to the right. Soften the shoulders. Lift the lower belly. Press the left big toe, left inner heel a little bit into the floor. You're going to feel that left psoas releasing. Yeah, there you go. Okay, you soften the press of that left foot. Let your pelvis roll back. Legs will follow. Okay, you're just going to do One more time to each side. Just going to watch you let your pelvis lead the legs over to the side. There you go. Yes, you got it. Yeah, good. If you widen your feet a little bit more, you'll get a little bit more release. Some of you are still hip width apart. There you go. Nice, Sally. You feel that release through the pelvis for you? Yeah, yeah, good. Nice, Laura. So you do as many times as you need to. When you come back to center, just pause. No rush here. Oh. My teacher, she always says when you're lying here with the knees bent and the arms out to the side, palms up, kind of feel like you're in this like home base or this place of home inside of yourself. So just remember on each exhale, you can arrive home inside your body. It's a chance to reconnect with self. And whenever you feel ready, we are going to roll on our belly. Just want to do a little bit of chest opening. So as you roll over to one side, roll onto your belly. Hey, you can swing around on your mat if you want to face back into the center of the studio. If you've got glasses, you might even want to take them off for this one. It's up to you. Arms are going to be at the top of the mat, forearms at the top of the mat, palm of the hand on the floor, back of the hand is resting on the top of the other hand. Forehead is on the top hand. This is a neck release. Okay, so you're going to reach a little bit of energy out your neck. So I want you to lengthen your neck up. The top of the head gently lengthens upward. Okay, you can tuck your toes under so your toes are on the floor. You can press them into the floor and you can reach out your inner and outer heel. Your knees and your part of your thighs might come off the floor. So you're reaching up through the neck, the top of the head forward, and down through the legs, out, back behind you. So there's a little opposition here. Let the belly find a little compression against the floor as it tries to inhale. It's a strengthening for the diaphragm, but let that breath overflow through your lower back. So we're nourishing the psoas from the breath through the inside as we let the lower back expand. You let the toes untuck whenever you're ready and just let the toes relax, the legs. Keep breathing though. Feel how the belly wants to try to expand against the floor, but let that space transfer to your lower back, the sides of your ribs. And as you exhale, feel heavy into the mat. You're going to release one arm at a time as you gently lift your head off your hands beside you, and then the other arm palms up. You can tuck the index and the thumb if you want a little bit underneath the front of the thigh, or just leave them out, your choice. Hey, chin can be on the floor or your forehead. I'm just going to be a little bit levitated so you can hear me. You're going to do a root to rise. So as you exhale, I want you to feel your lower belly, your pubic bones start to press into the floor, your belly button, the two front of your hip bones press into the floor, and just see if there's a rebound of your torso. The head follows, just lifting, floating up off the floor. You can keep pressing the belly, the front of the hip bones into the floor as you breathe here. Notice a little reaching out the top of your head, gaze stays down. And then just soften the leaning into the floor as you lower down, control it. We're going to do that again. Press the belly button, the lower belly, the hip bones, maybe even the upper top of the thighs into the floor. There's a rebound that happens. It's called a ground force reaction, that your torso will just start to lift on its own, shoulders down away from the ears. Keep pressing the floor away. Feel your back strengthening, a release of the upper psoas. as we slowly roll down. Okay, you find your rhythm one more time. You can wiggle, do a little shake in between, pressing, rooting the floor away. Feel the lift in the length. Soft shoulders, soft neck. Gazes down. Good. You lower down on your third one. You can bring the arms back up. You can rest your forehead. You can turn the head to the side. Okay, if you use this one hand on the floor, switch it. So the other hand's on the floor, the other hand's on top. Okay, you're gonna lift your shins and your feet off the floor. Just let your legs wiper. It'll move your pelvis from side to side. Releasing lower back. Releasing the lower part of the psoas now. All about regulating and releasing any excess stress or holding in the body and the nervous system. So we need to come in to release body so that we can tone the nervous system with some tools. It's a really good time maybe for a ah or a sigh or a pursed lip breath. Yeah, good. We are going to go into our awareness of seal. Love this one for the upper chest and torso. So you are going to bring your arms forward. Okay, shoulder width apart, little bend of the elbows. Okay, you're going into root to rise first. So you just let your head release. Gaze stays down. Okay, you're going to press the pelvis into the floor. So pubic bone, belly button, upper thighs. As you press the pelvis into the floor, I want you to press the palms of the hands into the floor. The arms, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms will come off the floor. Let the chest lift up through the heart. Let the shoulders drop down though. So heavy elbows, even though they're off the floor. Gaze just comes to a place where the back of the neck feels long. Keep pushing the floor away. Yeah, there you go. Yes, there it is. Strengthening upper back now. Releasing upper psoas, slowly come down. And now check in with your body. Do you want to go a little bit higher? So you gauge. Okay, if you do, you should bring the hands back a little bit more closer. Your elbows will be out to the side a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. Take a moment to pause. Okay, so you're rooting. When you root into the floor, you float up. It's a really beautiful awareness of pressing the pelvis into the floor. Hip bones, hands press into the floor. Okay, upper thighs. Good. Heavy elbows. Yes, there you are. Some of you might want to stay high and seal. Some of you might want to drop the elbows down, come into a little bit more of the sphinx. If your neck feels like it needs more length, just let your gaze flow down. Keep a little bit of pressure of the pelvis into the floor. It will keep spreading your sacrum and your lower back. Good. You stay for as long as you want. You release by pressing into the floor with the hands, letting the body slide down, wiggling, letting the shins feet come up, wipering the legs if you want from side to side. You're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders as the legs, feet come down to the floor. You're going to do a little push-up here. So you're going to gather your elbows. They're going to want to wing out to the side. So try to bring your elbows closer to your body. Press the floor away. If you want to go into a little extension, feel free. Then you're going to reach your pelvis back. Slowly unfurl your spine. Okay, let the hands slide back with you. Notice if the hips don't want to go all the way back. Don't go there. If the head wants to touch the floor, if not, stack the hands. Take a moment just to feel flexion. And we've been in extension for a little bit. We're going to walk the arms over to our one side. You choose which side. Just going to do a little lateral stretch here. As you reach your arms forward, I want you to reach your pelvis back. Okay, releasing part of the diaphragm. The diaphragm connects to our psoas. You stay here for as many breaths as you want. Some of us who have scoliosis, this feels really good, especially on one side where we're a little bit compressed. You pass through center, you go to the other side. Your timing. Good. When you come back into center, okay, come up. Choose if you want to be on your hands and knees, elbows and knees, or if you want to be seated for this one is another option. We're going to go into some spinal waves. You're going to start with the pelvis. So your pelvis is going to reach down. The back is going to round up. The hands or the elbows are going to press into the floor. The head is going to let go. Then the pelvis starts to reach up towards the ceiling. The belly releases to the floor. The heart does. The chest widens. Shoulders draw down. Little gaze forward, but keep the back of the neck long. Flow from the pelvis, starting the movement, ripple up the spine. Head is the last to let go, and head is the last to lift on extension. Flow with your breath. Be mindful of feeling each vertebra. See, do you want to do any kind of circling here? You might circle around the body and a little bit of a barrel rolling. Elbows will bend on that one, or you can inhale forward and circle, exhale back. You feel that the wrists are feeling a little bit sensitive, just come off them. Good. Yes. Okay, so you're either going to be on hands or elbows. And we're going to do a little release to side body here. So you're just going to bring the legs around. You can go to the right first if you want. So you can bring the shins and the feet around to the right side. Then you're going to lift and lengthen through the torso and the head and gently bring the torso and the head around to look towards the feet. So we're lengthening the psoas on the left side. We're doing a little compression on the other side. Just breathe here for a few breaths. Really nourishing for the organs. We hold a lot of emotions in our organs. You bring yourself to center when you're ready. As you exhale, you come to your other side. Legs come around first, then the torso, very gently the gaze and the head. Feel that little compression on one side and the lengthening on the other. Just bringing a little bit more evenness to left and right and front to back today. You release when you need to. Good. Come back. We're going to travel right up into standing. So you can widen the hands. You can even bring them a little bit farther forward. You can tuck the toes. Some of you are going into downward dog. Some of you are going into that variation that we did last week, dolphin. Okay, you're lengthening, bending the knees, pressing the floor away, just like you did in seal. Walking it out. One leg lengthens, one knee bends. Yeah, let the whole body have an expression here. If you want to feel a little bit more strength, you can press the hands into the floor. That left leg, you can do this still on your elbows and the forearms, and let the right leg just float up off the floor. Notice what it feels like for one leg to come up in the air. Okay, then bring that foot down on the floor, press the hands, the right foot into the floor, let the left leg float up. Notice what that feels like. Just a little strength. Good. When you're ready, you bring it down, you walk the feet towards the hands, hands towards the feet, slide it back. Okay, we're going to shake out the arms and the wrists on the floor. One way to release the wrists, since we're in a forward fold, is you can generously bend your knees, even like you're in a little squat, and you can just let the back of the hands come to the floor. It's a little release through the wrists. Let the head go. You can also open and close the hands. You can just shake them. You're going to unfurl when you're ready, pressing through the feet, come up to standing. You choose if the arms want to come up or not. Exhale. Check in once you stand. Do you need a little swinging twist? Do you need just a pause? Do you need to roll your shoulders around a little bit? Just giving you a little option. Might be a combination of both. Just letting you choose today. Maybe it's a little jiggle. Okay, we're going to do a tiny bit of foot rolling now. So you're going to find either your ball or your dowel, whichever one you've chose today for your foot rolling. Just take a moment to anchor your feet, bend the knees. Okay, just feel your mountain. So palms can face the back wall, they can face your legs, they can even turn forward. When you turn them forward, you externally rotate your shoulders, so you're opening your heart a little bit. Soft knees though. All the toes, the heels, rooting. Take a moment just to land in your standing. Remember, this is the pose that's the foundation for all things you do while you stand on your mat and as you move through the world in this upright position. Just feel your whole body from your feet, through your shins, through your knees, through your upper thighs, into your hips. Feel as you move up through your torso to your heart, your shoulders, your neck, your head. So you should feel connected through the whole body here. Maybe a little sway, maybe stillness. Okay, let the eyes, if they lowered a little bit or closed to open, find a focus point. Press down through one foot that's going to be standing as the other heel lifts. Keep pressing, lifting through the belly, gathering those ribs. Maybe the leg comes up today. Maybe it has a little movement. Maybe the arms float. Then you're going to bring that foot down. We're going to do a little rolling. Feel our breath. Yeah. Sometimes in life, as we're kind of rolling here, you might even notice that one side of, I'm just going to drop it here, but there we go. One side of the lower back or one side of the psoas is a little bit tighter. Did you guys notice how you could feel a little bit maybe more on one side than the other? So roll through. If you're standing on the dowel, this releases the transverse arch. If you want, you can roll through from toe to heel. Sorry, toe to big toe to pinky toe. You can drag the ball across the foot and press into the heel if you want. Flow through this foot for a little bit longer. Release it. Notice how when we do a little bit of foot rolling every day, it helps us ground. One really easy tool to do, right? Every day. You complete it when it feels right. Just take a moment to notice the difference of your feet. You might even move the legs around and just feel, oh, I can feel how that changed a relationship through my whole leg into the pelvis. And you find that rooting through that foot, okay, without shifting the hips, you're going to draw up. So if you have this little cord or string or little inner zipper that pulls up, but you want to stay pressing down as the other leg comes up. And you're using your psoas here to lift the leg. And also engaging in some of our other muscles to help. Hmm. Good. Check in with your breath. We brought in the sigh, the ha, the sh. Okay, so maybe those breaths come in, maybe a pursed breath. Feeling that regulation of bringing a little bit more tone into our nervous system. I always remember one of my teachers saying that, we move through states where we feel really tired, right? Where we feel really anxious, where we feel really regulated, right? And well-being. And so the goal of having a nice toned nervous system is not always being in one state all the time, but when we do move through the states, to be able to regulate back into a place of well-being. So if we get stuck in some areas, if we're doing it in awareness, we're like, I'm feeling a little stuck right now, but I'm aware that I'm stuck, right? And then with the awareness, you can start to make a shift back into regulation. It's sometimes in our nervous system when we get stuck in one place for too long and we're not coming back into this place of feeling well-being. So when you're in different states, you can always ask yourself, what do I need? And sometimes when we feel fatigued, we might just need to like curl into ourselves and be alone for a while. And the next day we wake up and we go, great, I feel a lot more regulated today because I did what I needed to do. Right? Okay, so just finishing up that foot when you're ready. We're going to go into tree in a moment. So if you're not feeling as stable, remember there's a wall that you can get into to hold. You choose the leg that you want to start on, bend the knee. Feel the feet, keep inner and outer heel, lift up through the lower belly. So there's that down and up. And then that other foot, you can keep the toes pressing into the floor, heel on the inner ankle, or bringing that foot up. Arms can come out. They can be out to the side, sometimes on the hips. Sometimes they want to flow up. It's really helpful to find a point 3 to 4 to 5 feet in front of you. So first start on the floor, and then you can lift your gaze up. And then the next step is to be able to look around. Yeah, good. Breathe. So remember, there's a pressing down, there's a lifting up. Just want to bring in our grounding mudra. Remember, we were bringing in that index and thumb touching on each hand and the fingers curled in. So if you're feeling a little wobbly and you're feeling too much up, just touch the index and the thumb on each hand and curl the middle ring and pinky into the palm of the hand. Good. You can release, you can shake it out when you need to. Remember, when you inhale, there's an up. When you exhale, there's a down. So inhale is an upward flow of prana. Exhale is a downward flow of apana. So you want to try to keep the exhale of the down as you push your foot into the floor. The other heel comes up. Maybe you keep one foot on the floor. Maybe you bring that foot up. Check in. Notice which toes are not connecting. Which part of your heel's a full circle. Can you feel your whole circle? When you're ready, you release it. Shake it out a little bit. Okay. So we are going to flow, and we're going to do the flow with the blocks. So for standing, we're not going to be standing for too much today, but we are going to put our blocks down. And we're going to have our chip foam block close by. So a little bit more on the right side of your mat because we're going to have right knee down. Good. And we'll adjust this when we need to. We're just going to stand on our mat again. Take a moment. Feel that down. A little bit of hydration if you need. Good, sorry, I just lost my mic, but it should be connected. Hands at heart. Inhale, exhale, release arms down. Press the feet into the floor, let the arms float up, maybe come forward. Good, exhale, flow down. We're gonna inhale up halfway, hands on the shins below the knees or above on the thighs. Feel some length. Exhale, take that length back down with you into your forward fold. Good, feel your toes be just as connected as your heel. One more time, inhale up halfway, hands on shins below the knees or on the thighs above. Exhale, take that length back down. Nice. Bend the knees, place the hands on the floor, step one foot back, the other. Nice big step, inverted V, knees can be bent here, pushing the floor away. Good, we're gonna lower knees down onto the floor. Good, we're gonna pop that block, that chip foam block underneath our right knee and our shin if we need a little bit support. Hands go up on the block, left leg is coming forward. Okay, so when we're here, one of our tendencies is, because our left leg is forward, is this left hip wants to pull forward. So what you want to try to do is think of pulling the left thigh bone back so you feel this connection and your hip bones are pointing straight ahead. This is really important. You want to find a lifting up through the body. Now, if you need a little bit more release, remember, you can always bring your blocks forward. So as you come forward, keep pulling this left thigh bone back, bringing the right hip around to face forward, lifting up through your heart. You're going to be lengthening your right psoas right now. Good. Then you're going to extend back. Notice if you want to bring the blocks back. Toes can stay on the floor. I'm just going to bring my blocks back so you can see, or you can lift the heel up and reach through it. Okay, you've got to press this right foot into the floor. You can have top of the foot, or you can tuck your toes under. Lengthen through this hamstring. You're in control of the flow, the rhythm. You're coming forward when you're ready. Remember, the left hip has to go back. Right hip comes around forward. Good. And see, yeah, there it is. Yeah. When you're ready, you're going to flow. Exhale back. I'm going to come out in a moment because I'm just going to help a few of you. How's it feeling today?
Going over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
very careful with lunches and cover because of an SI joint.
That's why I was coming into you, because when you've got scoliosis, that is what happens. So that's why I was giving you that cue today, right? To keep that pulling back so that you're communicating in the back of your body. Because when you have scoliosis, there's always a pull.
I didn't.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So just wanted to make sure you were feeling that, Susan. Okay. So you pause when you're ready to come out. Okay. You can feel that come out. You can take a moment. You can come off the hands. You can circle. Then you're going to do other side. No rush. It is your left knee and thigh on the block if you're using it. Hands can come up on the block to come a little bit higher. Right leg coming forward. Now it's your right thigh and hip that needs to draw back, and your left hip that needs to wrap around to face forward. And then you can just even notice as you come just even a little bit forward. Keep pulling right thigh back, left hip forward, lift up through the belly. So any of you that have a little instability through your pelvis, this is going to keep you and teach you how to stay connected when you have one leg separated. Extending back if you want. Toes can come up. So you can have the back of the foot flat or the toes tucking under. Yeah, you got it. Go nice and slow. feel that you're aware of your body. How are you keeping yourself nice and safe? You choose how long you want to go through the flow. You release when you're ready. We are going to come into seated after we're done that. Yeah, good. Nice, you got it. Reaching the sit bones back. Nice. Good, Sally. That feels really good for you. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to use our inflated slow-mo ball. We're going to do a little pelvic floor release. Okay, so that just helps after that one to release the pelvic floor so that we can release the back. So you're going to be seated on your inflate. So I'm just coming to the side. So what you're going to do is you're going to either just roll up and just kind of stick it underneath and roll up on it, or you're going to put it behind you and you're going to roll up on top of it. So we're going to make a little bit of noise, okay? It's all good. So hands might be on the floor as you roll here. Some of you might feel that you can bring your hands to your legs. Yeah, I know. Okay, so the one time when someone mentioned, they were like, well, what if I pop it? And I was like, oh, it won't pop. And then it was like, right after I said that, pop, of course it popped, right? And so I laughed and I said, I've only in history ever had a pop one time. But there's a possibility. It's all good if it does. We've got more. Okay, so you're just releasing the pelvic floor. And sometimes we're awakening it. So sometimes our pelvic floor can be really held. Sometimes we might even notice that it might feel a little numb. So parts of it we might not even be able to feel. Okay, so what this does is rolls around. Susan, you okay? Yeah? Okay. Okay. You're rolling around and you're just feeling the pelvic floor. So you can go left to right, you can go forward to back. You can also get a little bit fancy if you want. And go on the hip. Okay, so take your time. You can feel if you want, you might even go a little bit forward. Feel, yeah. How's it feeling for your pelvis? Yeah, a little bit, right? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. And so it might help to release around it, right? So it's not, it can just let it go. So the knees can stay bent. Yeah. The knees can stay bent the whole time, or you can bring the soles of the feet together. The feet can be far away, they can be close. Okay, it just orientates the pelvis a little bit more. Are you guys okay over there? It's awesome. Yeah, you can just go. I find the mat gets a little bit twisted underneath. Good. Laughter's good. Laughter's good. Okay, so we're going to, in a moment, roll the pelvis, and I'm going to bring my legs up so you can see all the way forward so that you're partly sitting on the floor, but the slow-mo ball is still behind you. Yes, exactly. Hey, then as you're here, you can choose, do I want to have my legs extended? Do I want to cross them? It's going to help you sit upright, right? It's really nice. And then you can just kind of let go. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, right? And I love that. So I'll let people online know. Susan was saying it felt like being like supported by a wave, right? It is really nice because sometimes when we sit, we struggle to find evenness. So I kind of notice when I'm sitting, sometimes my pattern is I'll weight my back of my pelvis so much and I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, wow, I'm not vertical. I'm kind of leaning back a little bit. And so then I feel, okay, well, I've got to also weight the front of the pelvis to the sit bones or to the pubic bone as well. And so there, with the slow-mo ball, is it brings you into this upright position. Okay, we're going to let the arms come down. Palms are down, fingers are just touching the floor. So this is, we're going to go into a mudra, and this is the gesture of the earth. It's called Boo Mudra. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your ring and your pinky and curl it into the palm of the hand, and your thumb is going to wrap around the ring and the pinky. Sorry, I was a little bit discombobulated by what I was doing. Okay, so ring and pinky in the palm of the hand. That means that your index and your middle finger is extended in a V, and you're touching the index and the middle finger, the pads, to the floor. This is Boo Mudra. I just want you to pause here. Feel this grounding gesture. This is the gesture of the earth. It pulls our awareness down into the ground, releases anxiety, eases tension and holding in the lower part of the body, which our psoas has been our focus today, toning the nervous system. You might start to feel your exhalation lengthening, a heavier quality. The mind starts to slow down. Sometimes the breath has a spontaneous pause. It might even be at the end of the exhale before the inhale comes in. Sometimes it's at the top of the inhale before we exhale. Hold for just another half a minute. Now, as we're here, I just want you to take and try to make this be a little bit smooth. 2 sips of inhale through the nose. Purse the lips, blow it out the mouth. And try to see if you can slow the sips of inhale down a little bit more. There we go. Purse the lips, out the mouth. One more time. 2 sips of inhale. Purse it out the mouth. Just let regular breath come in. Spacious mouth, soft tongue, relaxed teeth and lips, shoulders heavy. Now, you're going to feel at some point, which some of you are already feeling, that you're ready to let go. So you can just let the fingers wiggle. Okay? You can feel the palms even come up. You can bring the palms of the hands together just to release. Feel the bottom edge of the wrist come down. And then you're going to press your left hand passively, or left hand into the right. Let the right hand be passive and just let the arms sway from side to side. So the arms move to the left as the right hand presses into the left. The left hand presses into the right, and the arms gently move to the right. Just releasing a little bit of our thoracic cavity, the wrist. Feeling that regulation come back up into the heart. It's like you're rocking your arms and your hands. Nice. When you're ready to release this gesture of union, you can release the hands. You can just shake them out. And so this one's called flick the goo. So you imagine that you just stuck your hands in a whole bunch of goo and you're like, oh my God. And you just need to like flick it off. We're just going to do some wrist release before we go down to the floor. Open and close the hands. Feel open palm, soft fist. Open palm, soft fist. Good. And then with the palms down, just let the hands kind of flop a little bit. So sometimes we want to control it, but just let them flop and reverberate. I guess it's tricky. a little bit tricky to do. So this is your extensors on the top. So if you're finding, okay, this one's not too bad. And these are for releasing your flexor muscles. So this is your flexor. It's a little bit harder, this one. Sometimes we're like, wow, that doesn't really reverberate too much. Let go of the slow-mo. Roll down. Find yourself on the floor. Now check in. What do you need? Do you need to draw the legs into the chest? Do you need to widen the feet again, thighs rolled in, and go into that soft twist that we did at the very start, where we rolled and lifted our right hip up and our legs went to the left? Do you want to release the hips? We're just going to take a couple minutes here just to pause, ending our practice together. Maybe some sounds, some movements. You take your time to find that sense of release when you know that you need it for as long as you want it. And then you just pause when you're ready in stillness. Support the body as you need and listen to the body. Sometimes you might even ask it, body, what do you need? Sometimes we hear what the body needs, and sometimes we just kind of offer it. Feel as we've come full circle in our practice to meet the floor again. This is where we started. We started this landing, this attending to body and breath. And noticing how when we attend to body and breath, we nourish the mind and the thoughts and the emotions. We did a practice to release today, to regulate. So just let your breath breathe you as you rest here. This piece is called You. It's by Donna Ashworth. And it's being called to come in today. I had another piece, but this one's really strongly calling to come in, so I'm shifting. You. If every single person who has liked you in your lifetime were lit up on a map, it would create the most glittery, beautiful network you could imagine. Throw in the strangers you've been kind to, the people you've made laugh or inspired along the way. And that star bright network of you would be an impressive sight to behold. You're so much more than you think you are. You're so much more than you think you are. You have done so much more than you realize. You're trailing a bright pathway that you don't even know about. What a thing. What a thing indeed. Feel this last minute here together, traveling in the silence. Notice the feeling of your body on the floor, and the imprint of yourself in relationship with the earth. Our class has been about attending to body, feeling the earth supporting us, our breath. So just let the body, this attending, befriending to body as you breathe. Feel once again the expansion, a widening, and that exhale, you're arriving back into yourself. And that exhalation is an invitation to come back into the place of home inside of you and drop down into the earth. Feel the support, that anchor. It's always there for you when you mindfully bring it in through intention. You're going to take your time. You might start with very gentle wiggling to feel the awaken come in. Might feel it through the feet, the hands. Let that slowly feel the relationship of your whole body. Feel it through the legs, down the arms, through the torso, the pelvis, and you meet in your heart. Might do some stretching, lengthening, yawning, tension, release, whatever you need. And you'll feel that there'll be one side you want to lean over on. Just want to review a little bit of last week. Won't get too much to it this week, but if you roll to one side, you can bend one knee, roll to that side. And then you're going to lean over onto that side. You can use that bottom arm as you reach through the top leg to sit up. Pause. Take a moment to just feel maybe one hand on the heart, the other hand on top. It's a gesture of the heart. Notice how you felt when you sat with the slow-mo ball. And then we're going to open up from the heart. So I want you to feel your arms come forward. Inhale, spread open. You decide how far you want to go back. And then as you exhale, wrap the arms around. Give yourself a hug. Move how you want to enjoy this act of self-compassion. Feel which arm is on top. Reach the arms back up. Open up. And then crossing the other arm on top. As we embrace each other. Noticing when we come together and practice, we co-regulate. So we regulate in community. And as we regulate in community, it helps us self-regulate. As you open up again, either you bring your hands back to your heart or into Anjali in that mudra of union. Take an exhale. Beautiful. Just let your inhale come in. Let your eyes softly open. I thank you for being part of community as we come together to help each other regulate.